Dear DSA students, we are so excited to be on this journey with you, and we want to say a big well done for your commitment and enthusiasm so far. Whether you have just joined or you have been learning with us over the past few weeks, we see your progress and we are rooting for you all the way. Now, we know there's been a bit of silence around the learning management system, and we sincerely apologize for that. But here's the good news. We have an update as regards the learning management system, and it is one you'll love. Some of you may have been onboarded on the previous LMS, but want to ask that you kindly disregard any previous link, platform, or communication concerning that old system. We are officially switching to a new platform that you may be familiar with, Canvas by Instructure. For those new to Canvas, don't worry. A video tutorial will be uploaded to guide you step by step on how to use the platform effectively on our YouTube channel. You will also receive an onboarding email directly from Canvas by Instructure to help you get started. Please follow the instructions in the email and input your details to begin your learning journey on the platform. We are committed to making sure your learning experience is smooth, interactive, and impactful. So please, pay close attention to the announcements coming right after this video for more details. We are so glad to have you with us. Keep going, you've got this.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here again. How's everybody doing? How's classes been? I know you've got to learn a lot. Like you've had to learn a lot from Shikemi and Esther, right? It's been wonderful weeks. I know. So how are you guys doing? How is it going? How is it coming? Have you been generally? I miss everybody, but I'm here again. So I'm reading your comments. How have you been? How's the class been for you? Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, it's been a while, right? I'm happy that it's been impactful. Like I said, you're at the right place. So you got no worries. Okay, so I wanted you to share with me like things you've learned so far from the beginning of the class, like just something brief of what you've learned and how you're currently applying it to what you do. I know we've actually done like a little of Figma. So guess what? Today is going to be practical. So just sit back and relax. We're going to be going into Figma together. So everybody should get ready because this class is very, very important and it's also very useful in your journey as a product designer, because at the end of the day, all the practicals, yes, the practicals the theory part basically, then now we're now coming to practical where you actually need to apply what you've learned, basic knowledge, right? So I'm looking forward to a great class. Hi Joker, hi everybody. Okay, let's sit back. Don't forget to bring out your writing materials or wherever. Bring out your writing materials, jot things that you need to jot down. Also, if maybe maybe during the class you might have issues with network, don't be worried. Just you can come back to actually like review again. So again, like I used to say, don't just learn, like attend the class and just go like that. Come back to the class, learn, check again, watch again, and apply what you've learned. Like I said, like today's going to be practical, so I'm really, really, really in for today. So Our class for today is wireframing fundamentals. So while we like start today's class, I just wanted you to like give me like what you learned in last class. I know it was Shikemi that taught you guys, so I wanted to know like what you learned in last class. So like a recap of what you learned in last class. So I'll be reading from you. Okay, Taiwo says that. Pressure says that we did little. Oh, interesting. That's lovely. Okay. All right. So let's get in. Wireframing fundamentals. We're going to be talking about the purpose of wireframes, the low versus high fidelity, and a lot more discussion on that. So I know that some people might be like would have heard low fidel, mid fidel, high fidel. We're going to talk about it, or high prototype. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, today. So let's get to it. So my lesson objective for today is that at the end of this class, you should be able to explain what wireframes are and why they are used, because they are used in design process, the design thinking phase, the five design thinking processes. So at the end of this class, you should be able to explain what wireframes are and why they are used in the design process. You should be able to differentiate between low fidel and high fidel wireframes. You should be able to create basic wireframe using Figma tools, understand when and how to use wireframes during the product design lifecycle. I also wanted to say that if you want to like learn more how to use, probably you're confused on how to use Figma, right? You can also go on YouTube and watch videos to guide you on how to do that. Okay, so let's do like a quick icebreaker, basically. So I like doing this because it's for even for meetings, right? Really, when you get started as a product designer, there's some things that you will start doing workshop, product discovery workshop, and some other meetings to actually understand what the product looks like and to know like what way are you guys going. So one of the things that you would come across to actually calm the nerves of everybody on that call and to make sure that everybody's participating in the icebreaker, and that's what we're doing today. So I'm already like training you in design, especially at work. So let's like do a quick icebreaker. So design your superpower. I call it design your superpower. So if you could have one superpower to help you become a great designer, what would it be? I know in the first class, she came and talked about who is a product designer, right? So you already have an idea of who you want to become. So now, if you could have one superpower to actually help you become a great designer, what would it be and why? So I will be reading your comments. So we have like 2 minutes for that. So it could be anything. It could be I want the power to read users' mind so that you always know what they need. It could be that, oh, you want your superpower to be that you have ability to sketch ideas instantly just by thinking. Like you just think like this, you already sketch out. Or you have the idea, you should have like the superpower to just breathe into a design and it becomes life, like it's usable and all that. So what would it be? Or it could be maybe meeting deadlines. So for instance, sometimes deadlines are tight or timelines are very tight and you want to have like a speed of light so that you can meet deadline. Like to like if they give you like a if they give you like a task to do, you're able to do it like within 1 hour. That it normally take maybe a designer probably 2 weeks. But you also have the superpower to actually do it like instantly. That's what the superpower. Okay, let me read what you guys have written. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I love this. Someone says that telepathy will be my peak. Someone says be able to view the weak points and different users' viewpoint for my oh my god, interface. Someone said ability to be able to think into the future to design a usable and functional. I love that. I love, like, you guys to think outside the box and be different when designing. Oh, multitasking. Oh, if multitasking is proper, yeah, maybe some people they know how to multitask. Like someone can be like talking to somebody, and I've seen somebody talk, like we'll be talking to people at meetings and it's typing and it's not like blabbing or anything. So I guess that's a superpower anyways. Ability to work and think like AI. Lol. Well, that's another superpower. Um, Someone wants to be able to read users' mind or read minds or with stakeholders, so you know what everybody needs, so you're not confused. Okay, wow, this has been interesting. Problem solving. Yeah, I get to solve problem of every users to be able to implement new designs trend quickly. Don't forget that trends will go and come anyways, but the processes will remain to make the mind idea in my mind and people mind, oh, come to real life. Okay, someone says front end design, seeing the future to do what exactly. All right, it's been interesting reading from everybody, so let's just continue our class. So I hope, yeah, we enjoyed the icebreaker. So now let's like go into the class. So understanding wireframe. A wireframe is a simple visual guide that represents the layout and structure of a digital interface, such as a website or mobile app, without focusing on visual design elements like colors, typography, or detailed graphics. So in this class, we'll be talking about three wireframes. We have three major ones. We have the low, mid, and high, basically. Now if you look at this image that was attached to my slide, you will see that there's one that looks like sketch. So sometimes you can just pick up your paper, like it's very simple. Though I used to have like a sketchbook that someone got for me. I had like two or three, but I've used it to even do other things. Then there was one time when I started my career, I think when in 2019, when I started my career, there was, I think it was now in 2020, I was able to then I was able to like print out some wireframe sketch already. So when I mean wireframe sketch, they already drew the box. If you want to do like a website or a mobile, I'm trying to remember the name of where is it UX something pin or something. I can't remember the particular name, but I was able to like to download and export it. So I had like the papers. So if I was told to, if I was assigned a task and anything, so for me to like brainstorm and all that, I just like sketch out my idea on that paper. Or sometimes you just pick your paper, your jotter and your pencil or pen, and for instance, there's an idea. Maybe you've got into the ideation stage and you want to like sketch out your ideas, right? The first thing to do after you've done the whole process of your um understanding your users, your target audience, reaching out, interviews, and every other thing, getting to that point. Then after that point, there's now a part where you now need to sketch your ideas based on the feedback you've gotten from users, basically, right? So there's a part where you don't just jump into Figma. So many designers have that, what's the word now? They are guilty of that anytime they have like a task, the first thing you just quickly jump into Figma. That's not like the best, because it can be very, you can just enter Figma and everything just looks blank. But there's nothing bad in you actually trying out something, taking your pen or your paper and sketching out something based on your idea, and it doesn't have to be perfect. There's something we call crazy eight, where in a particular minute you based on a feature, let me use that example. Based on a feature, for instance, you want to design a mobile app for a banking mobile app, basically, and the first feature you want to actually design is the transfer or the internet part. Maybe you want people to be able to buy internet, or you want people to be able to send money and all that, whichever feature you pick. Now there's something we call crazy eight, where you can just pick your paper and pen and just sketch out 8 ideas in like, is it 1 minute, in a minute, right? You just sketch out ideas based on what you think. Okay, where do you want the button to be? And you don't have to like draw anything. You just like sketch out, okay, your idea, okay, I think this should be like this, I think this should be here, basically. But because I'm not sure you can see my this symbol because of my background, so we are going to do that in class too. So as we go as we go along this class, we are going to have part where we'll sketch out ideas based on the prompt I will give us. I hope we understand. So basically, wireframe is just something. It's a simple visual guide to actually represent what you want to build. It could be mobile app, it could be a website, and they are not concerned about colors, typography, or detailed graphics. Just make sure that you have something, right? Now, what is like the purpose of wireframe, right? The first thing is structure and layout. Now, wireframe actually helps us as designers to actually plan our content placement. Like I was saying, you can decide to put this here, this here, this here, but you are not like on Figma yet at some point. You're going to get to a point where you be on Figma, right? But your first initial idea, you can just sketch out something based on the feature you want to build, right? Or how you want the hierarchy of the content to be. For instance, you want to build a website. Okay, you know that the first thing is your navigation. Oh, the logo would be here. Okay, what are the how many menu will be on the top nav? So there's the top nav, there's like the hero section where we'll have like call out like the main details of the website, right, that you want to build. Then like that, okay, maybe you want to see about us or whatever. So you can actually sketch out the layout. So you don't need to like write. You can just make it like a square and all that. Right. Another thing, the purpose of wireframe is alignment. It ensures that everyone. So I've had times where there was a meeting basically, and during the stakeholders were involved, and I was there as a product designer, and there was this idea to do a particular thing, right, on one of the mobile POS app. So I remember then my CTO told me that, okay, Olashade, just sketch out ideas based on what we've had, like the meetings we've talked about. Everybody had asked questions, giving ideas and all that. Then based on everything that we have discussed, can you sketch out, like I think you mentioned three sketch. So it's not like I have to like it's funny enough, I didn't like go on Figma. It's not Figma thing. Just sketch it and snap. Like actually took like a sketch, right? I did like a sketch, not took. I did like a sketch of what like the ideas that was shared during the brainstorming session or the product discovery session, and I sketched like 3 or 4, and from there we started to, okay, I wrote it also, I labeled it that, okay, this is if this is going to happen, oh, this is this or that. So now that actually saved me time instead of going on Figma designing 4 different screens, and at the end of the day one will be picked. You can imagine. So one of the purpose I think of wireframe is alignment. It ensures that everybody is on the same page. So once you sketch out and everybody discuss, giving their suggestion, okay, this and this and that, you can now bring it into Figma based on you guys speak or what you guys agree on. And the third one is speed, which I've explained. Like it was faster. I like imagine that I already like jumped into Figma and now started designing. It could take me hours, but with the sketch is just an idea of what I want, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's why the sketch doesn't have to be perfect, right? So one of the purpose is it encourages quick iterations before investing in visuals. So before you enter Figma, this will help you to quickly have something, an idea of what you want to build, basically. So another thing is clarity. So it communicates user journey and functionality clearly. It helps you know, okay, this is the user journey. So sometimes you might not have to like design the whole product. Like when I mean whole product or the complete visual by adding colors and so many elements, components. You can just have something sketched out and people will give feedback, right? So that when the final product will come out, you would have taken that, you would take that feedback and actually add it to improve the product. You don't want to draw as how like it's just a sketch of like it's a brainstorming session for yourself. Really, it helps you before you actually, yeah, you can start to like use wireframe tools anyways on Figma, but that's like thing. For me, I prefer that, especially when I have an idea, and most times, there's something. So sometimes you might be very confused, or probably you don't even know what to do. Like, you might see, I've had times that I will just open Figma and I'll be looking at Figma like this. I will be staring at Figma. I don't know what to do. But I'll pick my pen and start sketching, because no, there's no harm in sketching. It doesn't harm you. It doesn't reduce your steez or anything. It just helps you. You gain more clarity. I iterate quickly, and you're able to like put more effort into the real design, because you already like have like a sketch, basic sketch, and you can, when you're bringing it to Figma, you already have an idea of what you want to be. You're not looking at Figma and wondering, okay, what is this Figma for, and all that. So when I mean sketch, I don't necessarily sketch, just drawing, not even necessarily drawing. You just, for instance, we want to, oh my god, I'm not sure you guys, it can't work because of my this thing. All right, so let's just move. So types of wireframes, we have 3 main levels of fidelity, and fidelity is how closely it resembles the final product, right? So we have the low fidelity wireframe. We can call it low fidel. So maybe when you start working, your product manager or the team can request that, oh, Kehinde, please, you can decide to sketch on Figma, but I feel like it's like, I don't know the right word to use. I feel like you can just, sketching is just something simple. You're just sketching out your idea. Some people, I know somebody that has like, she sketches the idea on an iPad or a tab, because it's just a, well, how will I put it? Just like a basic thing, really. You're not drawing. Oh. So look at now. Okay, thank God, just like a sample. So look at this screen. These 3 screen. Now, the first one is the low fidel, which is the sketch part. So you can decide to do this on Figma, but why? Why do I want to do the sketch on Figma when I will still gonna do wireframe inside? So it's just sketching. So for instance, this is like a like a full screen or a splash screen or an onboarding screen to either sign up or log in, basically. And you can just, maybe because you don't have like a particular design in mind, or you have different design in mind, you can actually sketch them out and choose, right? You can sketch, like I said, there's something they call crazy 8. Let me tell you what will happen. So if you actually take your time to actually sketch, right? That's why I said it's not like one-way traffic that, oh, you have to. It's just for teaching you and having understanding, and also knowing the path when to actually decide. Because sometimes you get stuck and you don't even know what to do. Basically, you can just pick your pen and paper. Have this, like my sound like a joke, but there are times that I don't know what to design at some point, maybe for a particular screen, and in my sleep I will just see the design, and when I wake up, it's just quickly pick and quickly sketch something out. I don't know, yeah, that happened to me, and it's not funny anyways. Like maybe a night before or that night, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm just staring at Figma, and I can just have ideas, right? So sketching is, if you decide that you want to sketch, but it's actually very good that you actually sketch out your ideas before you actually enter Figma, to know, okay, it's just like a rough look of how you're this thing. If you look at this first screen, you can see that the person just did like a box, and on the main action it wrote CTA. Then when they enter Figma, you can see that they now added, okay, the box was still there because the images are not needed in a particular part, the mid-fidelity, right? And the person like still put hierarchy. Then the last part, which is the High-fidelity, the person actually like, okay, put the color, puts everything that is necessary. So, and thank you to everybody that has been, oh wow, this is lovely. I love this. I love the class. As well done everybody that has been dropping comments, right? So now let's go to it. So you can see this low fidel. You can see that this person actually sketched out their idea on pen. You just use pen and paper, or pen and paper to just sketch out the idea that they have, right? So let's go. So what is low fidel wireframe? So low fidel wireframe is a quick, simple sketches or basic layout that focuses on number one, the structure, the user flow, and the content placement. Now, the user flow, you can also sketch out your, like, draw out your user flow as well. You can decide that, okay, how you want, okay, what's the flow like? So sometimes it doesn't have to be like you're drawing the layout. It could be that you pick up your pen and paper and do, okay, I want people to be able to send money. Then you can just draw like a flow, sketch out a flow. Okay, maybe from the home page, they navigate to transfer. From transfer, they are able to enter their details, then enter the recipient details. Then it shows, it takes the data and shows, okay, this is the name of the person that they want to send it to. They enter their bank basically. So yeah, like you can use it to like sketch out your journey so that you understand again, right? Everything is particularly to you. Some companies, they would request for you to do like a sketch or to follow the process after doing your research work. Then, okay, can you sketch out an idea, or probably just do a low fidel, a mid fidel on Figma, and from there, okay, everybody, the stakeholders come together, talk about it. Okay, this is it, this is this, this is that, before you now decide on colors and some other things. So every process is peculiar to the organization you work with. But you as a person, for instance, you're freelancing, you can decide to go through this process or not. So it's not static. Let me use that word. Right? So what is the characteristics of the low fidel? Number one, grayscale or monochrome. Placeholder element, that is boxes, lines, lorem. That's like, we use lorem as, though I don't like lorem at all. I just instead I just like put whatever, or maybe like just do like a like a, is it jaka they call, I can't remember what they call it, like a just mobile words on my book or whatever, right? There's no real content or branding. You're not afraid that this color is fine, this color is not fine. It's just basically sketching out your, based on your ideas, because it can be funny that for a screen you can actually, you are able to sketch out like 10 ideas. By the time you're entering Figma, you are entering Figma like a star boy or a star there. Let me use that word. Right? It just helps you remove unnecessary pressure. Like, oh, what do I do? How do I get this? Can I do this and all that? But because you already like sketch your ideas, you already know, you already have like ideas of what you want to build already, right? So often hand drawn or created digitally using basic shapes. So whichever one. I feel like using my pen and paper is actually faster before, because I'm still going to do like a mid wireframe, right? I also said, like, thank God for this thing. It gets better every day. There are tools for all this. On Figma, there are plugins for this. So you don't even need to start building anything from scratch. Unlike before that, you have to now actually build a wireframe from scratch. But now you just pick one of the wireframe kits. I've had to like build a wireframe design system a long time ago. And after building, then I had to now build the one that will have main colors, like the branding and all that, right? Okay, so what's the purpose of the low fidel? Is number one, like I said, brainstorming and early concept validation. So with sketching your ideas and discussing with your stakeholders, basically, they already have like an idea of how this should look. Sometimes they just want something like fast, like they want to see how, if it will actually work, or what you can come up with before actually going into Figma to know, okay, what are the improvements, what can we add, what can we do this. So it's for brainstorming session. It's it also gives like early concept and validation, so you know what. Okay, another one is quick feedback from team or stakeholders. So imagine when you sketch out your ideas already based on what you guys have discussed in the meeting. They can quickly give you feedback before you go. See, you can get to a point, like in Figma, because you did not follow some processes and just get frustrated because there's no, like, you didn't follow like the due process or the right process. For instance, involving your stakeholders from the beginning. Because at the end of the day, you're not just soliciting for the users. You're also soliciting for the business. So you're in between the business needs and the user needs, right? So it is another purpose is easy to change and iterate. So the three major ones are brainstorming and get early concept validation. So you have to be sure, because sometimes something might be explained to you that you want to validate if you actually understand, and quickly sketch out and discuss with your PM. And it's going to say, oh wow, that's it, you're right, or change this. No, this is not what I'm saying. So imagine that you have entered Figma, you took the FRD or the PRD and you entered Figma and you've designed everything. Imagine you had to design 1 million. No, let me not exaggerate. Let's say 1,000 screens. And the PM now comes to you and tells you that, oh, I'm so sorry. This is not our request. This is not what we were saying. How would you feel? Whereas you could have actually avoided that from the beginning, sketching your ideas or doing your wireframe, discuss with your PM step by step to see how to improve the product, or if this is actually what you're supposed to build. Basically, I just hope all this is clear, right? Because like I said, we are practicalizing all this. I'm not just teaching you and just saying it. We are going to go on Figma. So in case you don't have an account, please, we're going to go on Figma. You get your paper and pen and also draw. So there's like a task activity after every refidel of wireframes, right? So what are the tools? You can use pen and paper, FigJam, or Figma basic shapes. There are some shapes you can use. When you go on Figma, you can take out shapes to actually use it to draw your wireframe or the screens that you want to do, right? But the easiest, like I used to say, is pen and paper. There are other tools. There's balsamic as well. I'm not. It's been a long time, this balsamic, so I don't even know if it's still functional. It's been a very long time. But I would say the simplest thing right here at this stage is pen and paper. Thank you. Those that are cool with pen and paper, and those that are cool with FigJam. Anyways, on FigJam, there's actually like a template as well for you to do your fidel. And on Figma, you can use basic shape, right? Okay, but I feel like the simplest, the easiest, the cheapest, no fee, is pen and paper, please. Thank you very much. So, like I said, that after each discussion, we are going to have a class activity, and I'm going to be putting on time. I'm going to do like a clock, a timer. So once we do it, let me see, 10 minutes. So we've started our journey already. So let me see. Okay, so 10 minutes, we're going to brainstorm based on this. So we're going to sketch out a mobile sign-up page. So if you look at it, center title, create your account. Don't forget, you don't have to create your account. You can just draw like a dash or a placeholder. You can just put a placeholder that, okay, this is create an account, right? Then optional, join us and start your journey today, can be like a sketch. But you are going to need this because we're going to get to the point of High-fidelity. So you might want to do a screenshot so that when we get to that part, you just fill it with all these details. Then your form field. You don't need to go and write, don't go and write full name there. I just want to use to see the placeholders. So it's just a placeholder. I can just draw a shape, a rectangle, short one, right? So are we ready for this? I'm going to time us 10 minutes. Once you are done, please type done so that I know how many people are done. I actually did it, right? So sketch out a mobile. You can see my own paper. I want to sketch out my own too. So sketch out a mobile sign up page. Don't forget you are doing a placeholder. You're not writing all these things. Create a placeholder for this. And don't forget the action button. That is the CTA. That's the major call to action. That's sign up. Are we ready? So our time starts now. So I've already turned on the timer. So let everybody get their paper and pen and sketch out an idea. I hope we're already sketching out our idea. If you don't get it, please let me know, because these things are the major things. When we get to the hackathon part and the final project, all these things, you're going to do them. So please, it's very important that you understand. And it's quite simple anyways. It's just how you brainstorm your ideas that will matter. All right, are we ready? I'm not seeing anybody's response. I hope this one that nobody is responding. I hope everybody has carried their paper and pen. Now, if someone says done, please don't just write I don't get it. What exactly don't you get? Mm. I'm done with my own sketch. I don't know, you guys cannot say it. Oh, I saw it somehow. So I've done my sketch, so please, don't just write. Okay, let me explain the classwork again. The activities for you to sketch out a mobile sign up. You would have come across different mobile sign up. It could be that's why I didn't specify it to maybe a Kuda or anything or any mobile app, but you have an idea of a mobile sign up. If you don't have an idea, you can go online and search for it. But the thing activity here is for you to sketch out an idea. You're not, but this write up is just a placeholder basically. So you're doing more of dash, putting a placeholder. You're not writing. You're just sketching out. Okay, this is how you want it to look. This is the structure of what I want the sign up screen to look like. I hope that is gotten. I hope we got that. No problem. Oh, looks like everybody. Okay. All those people that are saying I don't understand, you need to let me know what don't you understand. Okay, you can try Figma. Check FigJam. You will see like a template. But this is simpler anyways. Done. Okay, I think we have a lot of people done. Please keep your sketch because we are still going on Figma to go and bring to breathe life into what you sketched out. Right? So like I said, if something is not clear, it's very good for you to specify what's not clear. If you just say it's not clear, I can't help. All right, I think the time I even gave us is too much. So we have a lot of people already. I just hope everybody. Okay. Okay, we have a lot of people, right? So let's move to the next one, which is Mid-fidelity. Giving us like a sample. of mid-fidel. So let's go into it. Call CTA means call to action. That is, what action is the user taking? Like the button. So the sign up is actually the CTA, which is the call to action. So it means call to action. So let's note that CTA means call to action. So there's no wrong sketch actually at this moment, because you are still like brainstorming, right? There's not like the perfect sketch or this is perfect. So most times how you get to know if what you've done is right is either speaking to the stakeholders or the PM or somebody to ask, okay, you are trying to build so thing. Okay, based on what we've discussed, I'm trying to build a sign up or blah blah blah, and this is how I want, like this, like the layout. So basically, the sketching part is just like a basic thing, just like brainstorming. There's no wrong, right. Basically, just you having like an idea of what you want to build. All right, so let's move. Okay, so the person that is saying novice in UI UX explanation is not clear. So if you have been following the class, you might want to, if you have not followed the class from the beginning, like from the first day we started, you might want to go back and like watch the videos and come here to like get to this point, because at the end of the day, the theory part, I always make emphasis on learning the theory before you now start actually doing the actual work, the sketching. I feel like it's like the second to the last step, basically, before you hand off your product. Okay, so let's move. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. If something is not clear to you, rather than say I don't understand and just leave it there, let's be clear with our expectations. You don't expect me to know that when you say something, I would know exactly. So you need to like spell it out so that I know what to focus on and what to expect. Thank you very much, and thank you for everyone that has participated. Well done. So let's move to our next subtopic, which is the mid-fidelity wireframes. So what is the mid-fidelity wireframe? So this is more detailed than the low fidel, whether you decided to do the low fidel on your paper, or you decide to do it in Figma or FigJam, whichever one, or you decide to just do like a flow of how you move from how the user will move from one place to another, or one screen to another, or one action to another, right? But this is more of a detailed low file. So like I said, in case you're hearing low file, low feel, mid feel, or mid file, whatever, just know that I'm saying low fidelity, mid fidelity, and high fidelity. Someone is saying to show us my own. You cannot see my own. No. See my own. It's blur. It's actually blur. So it actually shows more accurate layouts and some UI patterns, but still you're not going to have like your images. When I mean visuals, your images or your videos, depending on what you want to put, or icons, depending on what you want to have on that design, or the branding, which is the color, the logo, and some other things. So this part, you have moved from just your sketch, your pen and paper. You have now moved to the point where, okay, you actually you fill in some things. For instance, oh my God, we can't see this. Anyways, on my own sketch that I have placeholders for create your account. I have placeholder for join us now, or like a sub description, right? Then I have placeholders for my input field, right? So my input field is where the users will click on to actually enter the required details based on what I have designed, right? Now at this point is now when I get to now come on Figma or use one of my wireframe kits to actually fill in those things. But I am not adding color. When I mean adding color, I'm not saying, I'm not at this point, I'm not saying, oh yeah, let me go and use yellow. Oh no, I want to use blue. Oh, I want to use green. Oh, how will the logo look like? See, I'm not even worried at that point. I'm concerned here about, okay, the functionality. Okay, how will it work? Not how it's going to, like, when I mean look, the exact look or the branding that is going to look. Maybe the app or the mobile app will have red. Maybe that's my brand color, or probably my brand color is green, or my brand color is whatever color. At this point, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about my logo. What I'm worried about is showing my layout and filling my placeholder. So those placeholders I did during my sketch, I now decided, okay, I'll write them, create your account, like focus more, okay, typography, yeah, now put your typography, put your this. But I'm not concerned about images at that point. Maybe I'm trying to build an onboarding screen. You know, most onboarding screens, you will see that they have, that's like after the splash screen, then the onboarding screen that tells you summary of each of maybe particular features on that mobile app, right? At that point, I necessarily don't have to start thinking about this fidelity. Let's start thinking about, okay, which images will I use? Hey God, which, how will I do this? Which with this images fit? I'm not bothered about that at this moment, right? So what are the characteristics of the mid wireframe? Number one is to define your spacing and grid system. So your grid system could be 4, like your spacing could be 4, maybe a 4 grid system. So anything you want to do, you use a multiple of 4. You can decide to do that. At that point, that's when you now do that. You start to define your spacing. Okay, what's my spacing? You know, yeah. Oh my God. It's fine. So at this point here, I'm not bothered at how my sketch is during the low fidel, but now the mid fidel, because now I've entered Figma, right? I'm now going to be concerned about, okay, the spacing. What's like the spacing from the first text field to the next text field? Do I want to use 16, or do I want to use a multiple of 4 or a multiple of 8, depending on my grid system or the design system I'm using? What, how do I, like, okay, do I want to say, okay, from create account, your account header or heading, do I want to say from create account heading, that's my full header or my H1 or header 1, to my description? Okay, do I want to say that my spacing should be 4 or 16 or 24? So at this point, begin to define your spacing. What's like your grid system? Is it a multiple of 4? Never to worry. We're going to get to the point where we talk about basic common UI patterns. We're going to still talk about UI design and some other things, but all these are just making you to understand how some of these things work. But we're still going to talk about components, how you can build a component, how you can actually use a component in Figma or a design system kit in Figma. Like, you don't have to see, it's now like very easy. You don't have to start building your design system or your style guide from scratch. You can just pick one of the already made UI kits and just tweak it to your taste and add it to your file and just build. So it's even much more easier now than before, that you have to build a whole design system from scratch to Z. But now they've made it more easy that you can just work with the design system and you are fine. So with one of the characteristics of the mid-low fidel, right, is clearer labeling of your components. So you know, in Sketch, on your, sorry, when I mean Sketch, not a tool, on your paper and pen, or your paper, yes, they are actually, so for your mid-level fidel, they are actually wireframes that we can, wireframe kits that we can use. So while this class is going on, I'm going to share like a link. So one of the teachers is going to share like a link so that everybody can go there and now like see. Please, when we get to that point, please, nobody should touch anything. Just look at it. I'm going to share my screen too, but so that we also like participate in the class. We are going to get to Figma, so you should calm down. Theory, let's do the theory first. Let's talk about the theory. Then we are still going into Figma. right? So some real text. So for instance, if you're on your sketch, your call to action, you use lorem, or you use like a dummy text, at this point you have to start changing all those dummy texts to the real text, right? Still, you don't need color or branding assets. Another thing is the purpose of the mid-fidel now is to presenting your work to non-design stakeholders. There's some stakeholders that don't understand how the whole design thing work. So you can use wireframe to explain to them. You don't need to start putting color and all that. They already they just want to see how it's going to work. They necessarily don't want to see the colors and all that. They just want to they are more particular about functionality. So you can, at this point, you can do that. Then also early usability testing. With your wireframe as well, you can share with potential users to actually test the app to say, okay, well, what's your confusion point? Was there any confusion points at when you were using this product or whatever? So with the mid-fidel, you can actually start testing your product early. Stakeholders can start giving feedback, giving comment. Okay, can we have this instead? They'll start revealing and start seeing ideas of how they can make it better. Then also, it's also one of the purposes for improving interaction flows, right? So you can improve how the interactions will go from one place to another. Okay, for instance, you can figure out, or the stakeholders can figure out that, okay, instead of we having 4 screens or 4 flows to achieve this particular goal, based on the review that you've based on the wireframe you've submitted, or based on the review you've done during the wireframe, the mid-fidel wireframe stage, you can get to see, okay, let's reduce it, or let's remove one screen, and okay, let's remove this part so that it's quicker for the users to actually achieve their goal. I hope we're following, right? So what are the tools you can use? Basically, throughout this training, we are going to be using Figma. We are not using XT. So if you're if you're a student or an educator, you have access to the professional account for free. So in case you don't know that, if you're a student or you are an educator, you have a free access to professional accounts. So you don't need to just use the free account. You can actually use the professional account. Just fill in some required details. They will ask you some questions, and that's all. And immediately you fill the required data, you have access to the professional account. So, okay, someone is asking, wireframes. Wireframe is just let me say, wireframe is just the design, but prototype is now actually making it work, how you move the interactions basically from one screen to another, people actually testing the products before you actually hand off to the developers basically. So wireframe is just, let's say, it's the main design, right? It doesn't, when they click on it, it doesn't work yet. But with prototype, you can actually use animations to actually make it look like it works before handing off to the developer. Okay, we have some minutes before we go on break. Okay, I don't think we can enter Figma now. Maybe when we're back, we'll enter Figma. So let me just go back. Let me go through the questions and see. Yes, you can. Yes, you can actually. You can prototype the file mid-field. Yes, before presenting to stakeholders. You can decide that depending on how it works. For some companies, you just have to map out the flow. Why some companies, they actually like submit a prototype to the stakeholders to actually see how it works. But for some companies, you can go on Miro board and sketch out all the fig jam basically, and just map out, pick all the screens that you have worked on, and just map them out on that board, then so that the stakeholders can follow that. Okay, when you from this point you get to this point, when you did this at this stage you get to this point, when you do this at that stage you get to this point. Right? I know. I'm not surprised, because most designers, when they hear product design, they're always excited, like actually Figma or to jump into the design, but they forget that the theory part is very, very, very important, because if you don't understand some basic things, designing might be very difficult, because you don't even understand how to use. Imagine you don't understand how to use the right colors, the typography or component. You don't even understand anything about design. You just jump in Figma. No, it doesn't work that way. Right. I'm trying to okay, let me see. So for this mid fidel, basically, there's actually wireframe kits that we're going to use. So I'm going to ask someone who should drop it in the chat so that you can start looking at it before we go on break. Then we can build something based on our class activity. Basically, this class is more of practical, right? It just for us to have basic understanding of how these things work and what these things are used for. Okay, so for Figma, we have I think if you check the pricing, you can just go on Figma, www.figma.com. There's a pricing. There's the free account where everybody can use it, but there's a limitation to what project you can, how many projects you can do. Right now, Figma now did something for students and teachers, or for educators, basically, where you can have the professional account, which is paid for free. You can use it for free. You don't have to pay a dime. So the only thing is to enter some certain details that Figma will ask you. They will ask you 3 questions, and once you answer and you submit, in the next few seconds you are activated to start using the professional account. Basically, I can't show you here because I already have a professional account that ready, so it's not like I'm just creating Figma, except we want to do create a new this thing. But I know that you already had we created Figma. We started using Figma since last week, so I just explained how you can actually gain access to the professional account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe work on a what's the word now? Like a playbook for Figma, right? In the course of I'm not promising this week, but you should get it before the end of the month. So where we'll have Figma tutorials, how you can create a Figma account and all that. So someone said they already have. I love it. If you want to, so that's why I'm putting this information out. If you're moving to professional account and you're not a student or an educator, it's not for free. So aside this, just stick to the free account for now. But I'm just saying, it's giving this information out for those that are student and professional, and educators. So in 1 minute, we'll be going on break. While we're back, we're going live on Figma to do our mid-fidel based on your sketch. Everybody's going to design. I'm going to give everybody will have edit access. So please, when you get there, because I'm going to be showing everybody for my own, then you can decide to just watch me or also do your own after the class or during the class, whichever one works for you. but it's best that you just follow so that you have understanding and do your own. Then also, okay, so another thing I'm going to do is that maybe I'm going to add a tutorial for Figma, so some basic things so that you can be practicing. So when you get to the part where you need to actually do your final project, it's easy for you. So let's go on break. We'll be back shortly. Please fill your attendance. See you again. Bye for now. See you soon. Don't forget to fill your attendance. Hi, hello. How was the short break? I hope we've taken our attendance. So, any issue regarding groups and other issues would be addressed by another member of the team. So, let's focus on the class, right? So, a link will be shared with us shortly. The link has different things, and it will be pinned on the chat. So please take immediately you get the link, click on it. You can open it in another browser or keep it somewhere, because the link has some very important links like the Figma templates that we'll be using in the class, just our quiz for today. Then also I added, because I saw comment of people asking how to go about the education plan, or the professional plan, basically. So there's already like how to go about it video there. So please and please, let's go watch all those things after the class and see how we can upgrade, because we can't be doing that in the class here, so that we can focus on other things. I hope you understand. Thank you for understanding. So let's get started. The link will be dropped soon so that we can join the this thing. So our activity is design a full mobile sign-up flow with clear labels and layouts, but no colors or icon. We are not going to be taught. Like I said, I'm going to repeat it again and again and again. For the course of this bootcamp, we are only using Figma as our design tool. Figma, FigJam, then Google Doc, but we're not using XD at all. What we're using is Figma and FigJam, right? So please, so our class activity. So based on what we sketched out on your paper, so let's go to Figma and design something. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Can you all see my screen? I can't see everybody, so I can't see your comment about. Okay, so this is FigJam. FigJam, if you have Figma, you have access to FigJam. I'm checking if you are seeing my screen. So why is it showing class activity? It's not supposed to show. Come, let me try again. I really want you to see my screen. Let me try again. So let's see again if you see it. Okay, you know what? So that we will not waste time, let's a link has been shared to us, right? So I want you to go on the so this is our class activity. So based on your sketch idea, I want you to go on Figma. I already dropped like a link. A link has been dropped. So you go to Figma. Under the link, you see Figma Play Group. Playground, sorry. So that's our playground. That's what we're going to be playing or doing the practicals. So just make sure. I wanted to show because I know some people might not understand how. Yes, you were taught already how to use Figma basically, but I just wanted to like so that you could follow me with my board. Just let's go on the Figma board. There's a way you can follow me on Figma. So are we ready for this? So sorry that I'm unable to share my screen. So click on the link that was shared. Don't worry, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. What I'm showing now is the class activity that you have to do. So based on the sketch prompt I gave you, now go on Figma and design and do like a mid wireframe. You don't need a color. You can just use gray or black basically. And you don't need to worry yourself. So let me try again. Because it's really good that we are seeing this together so that some people are not left out. So let's try again for the last time. Yes, my network. Sorry, I said network. I don't know. It wasn't sharing. So please let me know if you can see my screen. I think we have to wait a bit. So let's go to our play to. Oh, I can see it. Oh my god. All of you there. Oh my god. I can see a lot of people. But it's not showing on. I don't know what's wrong, but I'm unable to. Okay, so let's just do our class activity. So I've seen a lot of people on the Figma file. So let's start. Please do your own design. Go to oh, it worked briefly. I didn't know. Like it's taking time, and I don't like the fact that it was taking time. Okay, let me try again. I'm so sorry, everybody. I really want everybody to be so in case you don't have Figma yet, or at least you understand what we're trying to do. Please, the link that was shared earlier, the doc Google document has different links. Go to the Figma playground. the link under Figma Playground. Click on it and it takes you to Figma. Okay, let me try it one last time. I didn't like the fact that it was showing on my screen. Okay. Billions. I'm wondering why I like it's so funny. This is unusual. Like, why is it going off and on? So those that have time, please continue. So sorry. I think for next class, maybe we would find a way. Please don't touch any other person's tag. So just create a frame. Please don't start snap anybody. People are funny. Okay, I would approve. Ha. What are people drawing? Just go to what's it? Just go to please, when you see somebody else already creating something, please don't go there. Go and create your own somewhere else. Because I'm seeing a lot of people. Don't forget your frame. Pick your frame. There are different frames. We have you should be able to approve. Like, I'm sorry, you should be able to edit. I have like 60 people on this file already. Just go to pick your frame, then pick a phone frame. Please, if you see someone else designing somewhere, go somewhere else. Don't look for trouble. I'm not there. So everybody, and write your name. Write your name on your frame. Don't forget to write your name on your frame. I hope we're all following. I can see a lot of people already. So sorry for those that don't have access to Figma yet or have not created an account. So this is like a practical class, like I said. So I can see a lot of people. We already have like 61 people on this file. In fact, so everybody should build what they want to build. I'll be going through the designs. I really wish I could share my screen, but it's not working. I don't know what's going on. For the wireframe kit, I'm not giving you approval. I'm not approving it though, because I already see someone that wants to approve. So what I want to do, so I'm going to publish the wireframe kit, then add it as an asset on the DSA playground. So you can pick component from there. The link you have to click is the Figma playground. So, but just create something. I'm not seeing any design. Well, I'm seeing somebody's design. Wow, that's good. Based on your sketch, do a mid-fidel or fidelity of your design. We have over when you see somebody, just go somewhere else. Like over, oh my god, this is like the it's so beautiful, like seeing a lot of people on your Figma file. But please, some people are picking the wrong this thing. Don't let me call you out. All of you that are going to my Figma wire kit. Head on. I see you all. Then maybe next class I'll show you some how you can go to your community, or basically you can go to community to get your mobile wireframe kit. So there's a lot going on the community. Somebody, oh my god, you should not make me laugh on this call. Which one is this? What is this? Please don't. Nobody should take. Please, nobody should take anybody's. Someone is saying doesn't understand. Oh, someone is using Figma Mobile. That's interesting. It's not active. Okay, let me see if you have. If you don't have access to it, well, everybody has access actually. Like everybody has edit access. Anyone can edit actually. I'm seeing people already working on their editing, so I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. A lot of people already working on the. So for those that we have, please, we have some minutes more because we are still going to the High-fidelity. So please, please and please. Oh my god, somebody literally wrote nobody should enter here. You guys should please. I'm trying to publish because I'm going to be using it for other things. Please don't create another page. Let's use the same page so that other times you can use other pages on this project. I'm so sorry you're unable to edit. So sorry. Please, you can always go back. So that's why I already created the Word doc for you to have access to a lot of things. So please, I would, as time goes, I'll keep updating the document so that you have full knowledge of how Figma works, or to an extent, or how Figma works, what you can do on Figma, and also there's always updates. You have to stay updated on how all these things work. What link exactly is not working? Someone says Figma playgrounds. Oh my god, grammar care. Okay, we have a few more minutes to go. Please let's wrap up before we so that we can go to our video. Please, when you write your name on your file as your name in case you have one person that is someone that is bearing your name, you might want to write your first name and your last name. I'm already seeing amazing work. I wish I could show everybody on the call, but just click on the Figma file and you will see you have access to basically everything. Okay. I hope everybody has access. If you don't have access, please click on the link again. Oh my god, it's so interesting. Even Figma is putting spotlight on some people. Please, what's going on? I can't. Somebody is doing a website. I don't know. It's mobile app I asked you to do. So you have to pick a mobile frame without anyone. But it should be a mobile frame. I can't even find my own frame again. Somebody carry it. Oh my god. Anyways, all of you that are creating page 2, I see you. No page 2. Page 1, we're only using for today's class. So that subsequent classes we can create pages. It's just for us to practice how these things work. So I would encourage us, let's go back to the document, all the tutorials. Let's go to it, watch them, take time. If it's 1 hour, spend time to actually watch. Oh, so sorry to those that cannot edit. You might want to rejoin again. Okay, I think that's cool. Well done, everybody that has attempted to do this. I see you all. Well done. It shows we've been well taught. And yeah, I'm proud of everybody that's dropped and those that are yet to, based on one thing or the other. So now that you've seen how it looks to be on Figma, or you've started working on Figma, go to your own Figma, personal Figma, create a project file and name it DSA, so that everything that we are asking you to do, you can go do it there as well. So aside the class activities and all that, you can now go to your own, because I'm going to give us a take-home assignment, a take-home basically, where you would submit the Figma link and all that, but just for you to have like a feel of what we're doing here, basically. So let's continue. If we should please. So let's pause whatever we're doing. I'm going to close that group. Please, let's stop what we're doing right now and let's focus on the next thing. We're still going back. All right. So we've talked about the low fidel. We've talked about the mid fidel, which is what we worked on the Figma file, and now we're talking about. So, like I said, you can now maybe create your own folder. Please, everybody, as far as you're a student in this bootcamp, please create a folder on your Figma, and name it DSA. Name it DSA. So you'll be using that folder. You'll be using it for every assignment, every project. So it's easier for you. Sorry for those that did not find their design. Sorry. So let's go to the high-fidelity wireframe. Who is excited? I know this is like where major people that want to enter design, like this is what they used to think, that design is just about adding pictures, adding colors. But don't forget, like we had, like there were steps before we actually got to this point. Okay, so what is high fidelity? I hope nobody's on Figma file. Let's continue, please and please. High fidelity wireframes, it's pixel perfect wireframes that resembles or looks like the final product closely, with real content, the images, the branding, the font, the spacing, and sometimes clickable interactions depending on what you want to do. It's still the same thing, no? It's just a high fidel what's the word now? A high look, or a the look and feel of a product. But don't forget that there's a part where we now hand off to the developer to actually now breathe life. So we've picked the project from hydration stage. We've done our user research. We've sketched out everything we need to do. We've done our brainstorming session and everything that we need to do basically. And we've done our sketch to say, okay, this is the idea of what I want to do, or this is what I want to build basically. Then you do like your mid fidelity wireframe to actually portray what you want to build. We got not adding your colors, your branding, your images and all that, or icons, or being concerned about all those things. So now this part is now when you now start to add like the colors. Okay, if you're, for instance, your branding, or your the company's brand that you're working with, or the person or the stakeholder or the project you want to work in has a particular brand. Now this is where the part where you now begin to add colors to them. And it's so interesting that if, for instance, you already make your what you've built a component, if it's a design component, like I said, we're going to still get to components along, like as we go in this bootcamp, we're going to get to that part, so you know how to build a mini design project or design system, how to use design system on Figma. We're going to get to that part, but this part is just basically making you have knowledge about how some basic things work, or how some things work, right? And just have like a look and a feel of some basic things that will happen in your design thinking processes or process, right? So what is the characteristics of the high fidel? Number one is your full layout and spacing details, your brand colors, your icons, your typography. This is where like you have your full layouts, everything that you want to build, everything, you have it. You have, if you are choosing blue, if you are choosing red, whatever brand is the color you of the color you the company you are working with, or the product you are trying to build. This is where you like flesh it out. Like this is the part. It's not like you don't already know what you want to build. Sometimes there are cases that you're not sure of the color you want to use, but there are cases that you already know like the color or the brand color you want to use for the product. So this is where you now begin to use real images, all those places that are using placeholders and all that, placeholders to keep. You can now put your real images. If it's icon, put your real icon. Then at this point, maybe during your mid-fidel, you didn't put your right content. You can actually now start putting your yes, your high-fidel is as good as the final version. Yes, some people call it high-fidel prototype or wireframe. It's still the same thing, so don't be confused, please. They're still the final product, but that's like the name. It's just a naming thing, so don't be confused. All right, let's continue. And also may include basic interactives like links, your over, your animations, and other things. That's like the parts. Like I said, it's like your full layout, what your products will look like, or a look and feel basically of the products before you hand off to the developer to now write some code and actually let me tell you. So Figma currently, like updated the tool Figma. So normally on Figma, when you design on Figma, you hand off to the developer, then they write the code based on what you have, the design you've handed off to them. Guess what? On Figma, you can actually breathe life into it, or make it feasible for people to use. So what do I mean by that? Think about something like WordPress, if you know WordPress, or Wix.com, where you can actually pick a template, right, and just design something, a website, and it's live. So now, good news is that now on Figma, you can actually build a product, a website on Figma, and it comes to life. So it means that you can share the link as far as you have done the right thing you need to do. You've added the right, you've added all the things that is necessary on that thing, and you followed the rules, because there are some things that if you don't do them rightly, it might not show on the live prod, or on the live product. So now on Figma, guess what? But it's limited to people that are on paid account anyway. It's not for people that are using free accounts. So if you're, in case you are using paid account, or you plan to use paid account, you can now actually build a website, and it will be live without handing off. That's good news anyways. Handing off to a developer. So it means that as you are growing in your journey as a product designer, you can start creating websites, build websites, and also you don't need to give a developer to actually build it. It will go live from Figma. Yes, it's a new feature, and they just announced it. Yes. All of you that cannot find your frame, go and do the activity on your own personal account. I'm not going to say it again. All right. So what's the purpose? Final stakeholder approval. Usability testing. So you've done your low-fidelity, you've done your mid-fidelity, and now your final product, which is your high-fidelity wireframe or high-fidelity prototype. So please don't be confused, right? Now, this is now the part where you now get to, because you already added the necessary things, the icon, the look and feel, you've done your UX writing, you've made or added the right copies and all that, right? So this is now the part where you begin to get like a final stakeholder approval before you hand off to the developer, right? Another part is that with this, you can also do usability testing. You can also test with users, potential users who actually interact with it, play with, or interact with it basically after your prototype. We've done your prototype and all that, so they can actually interact with it on how it's going to look real life, just like a prototype of how the real life product will look like basically. So from there, with this, you can actually get feedback from the stakeholder, maybe on color issues or issues that they could not catch during the mid-fidelity, maybe because you now added new content or the right content, or you've now added your right branding, right? So another thing is that at this point, once it's finally approved, you can, and you've done the usability testing to test with users, potential users of the product, now you can now hand off to developers to actually build. Please, can we not talk about the frame again? Thank you very much. Please, let's not talk about the frame. Thank you. If you don't have access to your frame again, please go to your own personal Figma file and create a DSA project, so you can be doing your your tests on your own personal design, so that nobody will touch your own product. I actually did that because I wanted everybody to participate in the class activity. Like I said, that it's a practical class. So I'm not going to talk about this again. We don't have time anymore. Thank you very much. So the tool, like I said, we are using Figma. So the tool to design this, we have to use it. We're using Figma with our design system or a UI kit. If you notice, because I cannot share my screen, if you notice, I already added like a design system, a design system kit on the file. So how do you access that? there's the place where on the left side up, yeah, there's like file, then an asset. If you click on it, you will see different assets. You can drag and drop. You can drag and drop and edit or reuse the component. So you can see that it's easy. You don't need to actually start building your own you don't have to start using your own you don't have to start building your own design system. You can just pick a design system from Figma, the Figma community, and just publish it and add it to your own as an asset on your own project. So you're able to pick whatever you want. Maybe you want a particular color, you want icons or whatever you want. There are components available. Just tweak it to your taste, right? Like I said, we'll be using Figma, but there are other design tools. There's XD, there's Sketch. But this class, throughout this bootcamp, we're focused on Figma. So class activity, yeah, for those that were able to design the mid-fidel, please go back and add colors, add images, or images, or the necessary things that needs to be on that screen you have created. So that's what we're going to do. You can do that after the class because of time. So let's just go to the next. So please, for those that are unable, or they were unable to actually work on that play group, so our Figma playground, please go to your own personal projects and create that and name it TSA. Use one page, add it a class activity, so that the other page will be for your take home, so that you can do everything that you want to do and make sure, because at the end of the day, if we're just learning and we're not practicing, there's no point. So I'm very keen to learning the theory and also keen to also practicalizing what you've learned, right? How do you do user testing? You recruit users, potential users. You could recruit them. Different companies have techniques that they recruit their user. They recruit potential users. Some people have like a WhatsApp group or a Slack group where they will recruit users. They can post it anywhere and tell you to, okay, join our users testing group for you to test some of our products and give feedback. There are some communities like that you can do that, right? Or you can also test with people in the company or stakeholders to test. Okay, this is what you do, just test it. But if your company allows you to actually test with another person, yes. But there are some companies that they are, because of NDA issues, you cannot give the design to somebody else. They can just recruit maybe few users or trusted users to actually test the product and give feedback. I've had where a product was launched, and because I work in the company, I had to like be one of. Funny enough, I was like the designer on that project, but we picked like certain people to actually test the product and give their feedback. So I hope that is clear. All right. So what's the difference between, so just briefly, between the low fidelity, the mid fidelity, the high fidelity wireframe? So we're just looking at three aspects from the definition. One is the low fidel is the basic visual representation of a product layout, while the mid fidel is more refined or improved layout with structure and hierarchy. Then the high fidel is now like the final like version with detailed design elements. Right? Now, what's the purpose? Looking from the purpose. The purpose is brainstorming, hydration, initial feedback, right? For mid-fidel is usability evaluation, then the structural validity. How do you want for instance, if you're building a website, your own page. So let's say you want the header. What do you want next under the header? and like what you want on each the sections basically on the page, what do you want to look like. Now the iFidel, I didn't say anything on file version, final like version, that's what I said. So another purpose for iFidel is the design sign off. This is where you do your design sign off, you hand off to the developer, you do your usability testing with potential users, or depending on how your company recruits or how you plan. If it's a personal project, you can decide to like recruit users by yourself to test, right? Another part is the visual detail part. For the low fidel, we just see basic, it's very basic. For the low fidel, it's very basic. We just see like boxes. Yes, your low fidel can be done on paper, yes. Very basic boxes, your lines, your placeholders. While your mid-fidel is more structured layout, real component shapes. Then your high-fidel is the full visuals with colors, your typography, your icons, your images. Like I said, the final like or look of oh, I guess that was a mistake. So another aspect is speed to create. So with your low fidel, it's very fast. It's faster and can be done in minutes. For the mid fidel, it takes longer due to structured layouts and better flow. While for the high fidel, is time intensive due to precision and polish, because you have to, there's room for iterations, you have to add colors, now decide okay what icons should be yet before you hand off. It has to be like final the look, because that is what whatever you give the developer, that's what they would like write the code on and make it live. I hope like we got what we are doing here, and it's not like magic, or it's not like we're looking at what is Folashade doing, what's happening here. In summary, start with low fidel to explore your ideas quickly. Then move to mid fidel to refine or improve the structure and the logic. The other one is that use high fidel to test real interaction or hand off to developers. Another thing is that the type of wireframes depends on the stage of the design process and the audience. And the last thing I would say in summary is that wireframe is about clarity, not beauty, especially in early stages. We will not be able to do our tests on during the class, but I'm going to leave it open so that you can run the test at your own time. So I'm going to leave it open for a certain for some days throughout this week, so that we can actually do the test. But please, in case you might be confused or wondering what I've been doing and all that, please go back to watch this video, and also go through all the links that I've shared on the group, that was shared to you on the group. Is very, very important, right? Okay. Yes, you can use, so like it depends on what you, if you want to do, if your company is doing a lean on agile methodology, right? How you want, if you, for instance, some company wants to, you want to prioritize your MVP, so you can also use, yes, iFidel, then go back, yeah, and continue. But you want to first launch your MVP, so yes, you can use, it can serve as, we're going to get to that part, so it can serve as your MVP, yeah. So pro tips or tips that I want to share with you. For early ideas, we have ideas for the projects after discussion and every other thing you've done. For early ideas, use your low fidel. For testing layout or flow of how you will go from, the user will go from one flow to another or one point to another, you can use mid fidel. Now, if you need to buy in or hand off, you want like a real look and feel of your project or product, you go high fidel. Okay, I think someone is noting that anyways. So recommended resources, Figma community plugins, there's Wireframe, Low-fidelity kits, there's Untitled UI kit for High-fidelity. There are articles and videos for you to watch. For instance, UX Spin, there's the guide to wireframing. Yes, for mid file, depending on what you guys agree, yes, you can actually prototype your fidel for people to test before you actually add the real colors and all that. Yes, you can, depending on your agreement and your timelines. Right? Then on YouTube as well, like I used to say, don't let your learning stop here. Watch the video again. Things that are not clear, you can ask questions, send messages to me so that I can treat your question. Right? We have like few minutes to go, but we can't do. For usability testing, you can do it from, you can decide to do it from the mid fidel stage or the low fidel, depending on how the project is running. So for instance, some companies, they prefer that you've done your sketch, you and stakeholders, you guys have talked, okay, let's go to the next stage. So it depends on your company's process or wherever you're working with process. There are like different process. Yes, there's a design thinking process, but it just differs with company. There's a basic like design thinking process, but every company will not decide that, okay, do you want to actually involve everybody in your sketch process, or you want to involve them when they are doing the mid-fidel, right? But you can actually carry out your usability testing from your mid-fidel if you want. But it's advisable, I would advise you, yes, carry that from the mid-fidel so that because you actually want, because the major thing there is that it's more of functionality than the look or the beauty. Let me use the beauty basically at that point. So at that point you can actually get accurate feedback. The only thing when it now gets to high fidel, if you have actually been able to catch everything from the mid fidel, is now the point where maybe color issues. Okay, no, don't use this color. No, I think this color is best for users. I think that, or typography issue or images. Okay, no, this change this image. So it's even better that the mid fidel you actually start doing usability testing, test with users, potential users, right? So your take-home challenge, it should be sent to you. If you are not able, you can do like a screenshot, but this is the take-home. Choose an app idea, e.g. recipe app, fitness tracker, or budget or tool, whatever you want to be. This is just suggestions. Create a wireframe for 3 screens, e.g. home, details, and settings. You can decide to do these 3 or choose whatever you want. Maybe you want to do home, you want to do another page, as I just examples, but those main things. Choose an app idea, create a wireframe for 3 screens. So, or a design, do the low fidel, the mid fidel, and the high fidelity. The tool is Figma, and your deadline is 30th of May 2025. Format is share Figma link with naming convention, first name underscore wireframe practice. So this is basically, you can just screenshot it, and how you submit will be communicated to you. We have like few minutes more to go. So I've been answering questions. So feel free to send your questions. So you can connect with me on YouTube. If you have questions, please, LinkedIn. I'm available on LinkedIn. I didn't remember to put my LinkedIn here, but you can drop a message for me on LinkedIn. Folashade Adiola Degbite. Folashade Adiola Degbite on LinkedIn. So we have like 2 minutes more. You have, so the assignments you have, the major assignment, let me go back. So this is like from this class, this is like the major assignment, but the Slido link that was shared that's on that document is just activity for you to like understand and to be sure test your knowledge basically based on the class. So please, you should not be scared. Yes, it's what it's really, because at the end of the day, you have to keep practicing. Even when you start like your journey as a product designer, you have to actually keep practicing. Sharing method for the take home. Like, do you mean sharing, submitting? All right, I'm going through the comments. Okay, link to Slido is on the document, so you can do it as your convenience. So you can. The only thing is that I have to like. But for now, let's focus on the take home challenge and also your class activities. Okay, the naming format. So when I mean naming, like if you are sharing the when you create a file for this assignment, you name it your first name and wireframe practice. That's what I'm saying. Yes, we are not doing this Lido today. There's no time, so I'm taking questions for now. The assignment you are giving is for your own good. Do we have to use the three wireframe? I think I've been able to answer everybody's question. I'm just going through. Okay, so it's been a wonderful class. I'm happy that we're getting our hands on Figma designing and all that. Let's start, because at the end of the day, we're going to be shared to different groups, or we'll be in different groups to actually present projects. So you have to do like the UX part and the UI part. So get ready, and that's why we're teaching you, right? Then for the hackathon as well. So it's very important that you take note of all these things. So thank you so much for today. Thank you for joining today's class. See you on Thursday. Make sure you continue to practice and don't just stop learning. It's been a wonderful time in class today. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined. See you next class. Bye, everybody.